Oh, fantastic. Well, I would love to get started. And I was hoping to just have a little bit of a conversation. Thank you for making time to join me today. And I just want to say thank you for all that you're doing in the community. You know, there's been so many challenges that so many community members have been facing recently. And we started the 7th District Heroes, frankly, because everybody in our office needed a bit of a lift. We've been spending so much time focused on the hardships that people are facing and helping people through those hardships, you know, answering questions about legislation and helping people with constituent services, but being able to hear some of the really good stories has been just a big spot of, like, a big bit of brightness in all of this. So thank you for all that you're doing, and I'm so glad to be able to talk to you all. I was going to, maybe if we wouldn't mind going around introducing ourselves, or maybe I should tell what it is you've been doing, because I think you all may be too modest in talking about it. So I think first we have Julie, and Julie lives in Midlothian, and she started the Facebook group RVA Masks for Health. And with a group of more than 4,000 volunteers, her group has provided more than 22,000 masks to healthcare workers, first responders, nursing homes and long-term care facilities, correctional facilities, food banks, and public transit workers in Central Virginia.
That's incredible.
So Julie, how did you get started with that?
I could have never imagined where this would have gone. I can tell you that. As you see my fabric here, I'm in my sewing room. I like to sew. I had lots of fabric. So I started a group and expected it to be kind of small or super local to me. And it grew massively, very, very quickly. And Helena is joining us down there. She came on early on to help me because I could not have survived that by myself. It was just so fast and so overwhelming, but she helped me to keep everything organized. And yeah, it's still kind of unbelievable, but like you said, it was a bright spot, something that we could focus on, put our energy into, and distract us from all the craziness that was going on. So it's been fantastic.
And how have you been connecting? How are you finding about the needs for masks and where to distribute masks?
Well, the word just got out quickly, and we put some information on the Facebook group. So when you joined, you would see how to make a request, or if you were a volunteer, there was information to show you how to connect. And we just wanted it to be a connection point. So we had to keep the information, you know, as up to date and accurate as possible, so it was useful. And people would submit their request straight into a form or onto the page. And Helena made lots of spreadsheets and we just tried to track it all as best we could. And I think, considering what we were working with, it went really well.
And Helena, how did you get involved?
Oh, I am unmuted. Sorry, there's a lot of noise in my house, so I was trying to mute myself. Julie's my neighbor, and I just saw her on my Facebook feed, like filling all these requests, and I looked at her group and it had 700 people after like 3 days, and I don't sew at all, but I was also looking for a way to kind of help and distract myself, but also be useful to the community. And so I offered to just do some of the behind the scenes organizational stuff, because that's kind of stuff that I enjoy doing and other people I know don't. And so I just do kind of the behind the scenes, like counting and making of forms and organizing information. And we're now, since this got posted, we're now up to 26,000, just so you know. It keeps going and going and going. So
I think it's cool. Probably a lot more, because in the beginning it was going so fast. We weren't tracking anything. We were just trying to get them where they needed to go. Wow. As we kind of were able to take a breath, we started having people record how many they had actually made. So we think it's probably a lot more. And the community donated. I mean, we purchased some supplies to pass out, but most of these masks were made by people that had this at home and just donated all of their time and supplies themselves.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, thank you, Julie. Thank you, Helen. That's awesome.
Julie, can we put a request in for the school system for 10,000 masks?
Sounds like Helena can send you a spreadsheet.
Notice you over there.
Give me a spreadsheet and we'll tell you how many schools for each, and we can get ahead of this now.
We have been giving to some of the school nurses already. They've come in and asked about getting the washable masks. So some of them are already ahead of that game.
We could keep you busy next year if you.
We have a group that would be willing for sure.
And Merv said 10,000, but we have 63,000 students. So.
Wow.
That is great.
Merv, I think you teed us up for the next group. And in fact, the thing that I love about this is that we're honoring an entire team. And I'm so grateful to have the ability to talk about what it is that our food services teams are doing across Central Virginia, and in this case in Chesterfield. And so by the numbers I have, which I'm sure there's been updates since this, Chesterfield County Public Schools food and nutrition services teams have prepared and delivered more than 11,000 meals daily for school-age children who normally depend on school for their nutritional needs. They prepare weekend boxes to assist local families who are struggling with hunger and food insecurity. And the food and nutrition services team has gone above and beyond to ensure that no Chesterfield child goes hungry during this pandemic, even when it meant putting a mask on and leaving their own homes to go deliver meals. So I know that we've got a few members of the team available from Chesterfield County Public Schools, and I just want to say I'm grateful. And who can I start with for questions?
Well, I'll tell you what, the superstar is Pearl.
Pearl.
Yeah, she has done my job is to support her and help her, and I've been out and about in the work lines helping them on some days, but they've done a great job. I think we're getting closer. We're not there to each at the end of the week over 150,000 meals a week, and but Pearl has the numbers, but she's done a great job, and she was one of the first in the state to go out and get the USDA to give us our summer permission that allowed us to go out of the site. So we have more sites now out of the schools in the community than we do at the schools, and she's just done a great job. And our goal is to feed until they let us go back to school. But superstar, I'm gonna let her talk. And I appreciate our board chair Deb Bailey being here. We want to show our support for her because her and her team, they are superstars, and we recognized them last week with a little gift, but they are phenomenal people.
I have to say that I have a fantastic staff, and we couldn't do this without my group. They are absolutely wonderful. They care about the kids so much. This is what they live to do. So, and I do have our latest number is we are over 730,000 meals as of May 15th.
Wow. And how large is your staff? How many folks are working every day to keep children fed?
We have about 300 that come in.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yep. They're a great group. I'll let you talk to some of my superstars over here.
I would love to.
Hi.
That's funny because are you all in the same room?
Yes.
But we're social distancing.
Oh, I'm toggling over to the other box.
Pearl, we know someone can get you a mask now.
I have mine right here.
Oh, so how long have you been with the school district?
I've been with the school district for 3 years. I'm Heather Blades, by the way.
Hi, Heather.
I've been with the school district for 2.5, almost 3 years now.
That's wonderful.
Yep. So,
and how long have you been with the school district?
Yeah.
2.5 to 3 years.
And ma'am, what's your name?
Oh, mine. Yes, I'm Ronnie Lapel. And Heather Blades is our, from School Nutrition Association. She's our manager of the year.
Okay.
And I realized that she had a post from you on Facebook that she just showed me. So that was lovely. So thank you.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
So when we asked her, we had no idea. So I thought, how perfect.
That is
She's
really,
here with us today.
and what has it been to adjust to the shift? I mean, what has it been not feeding in schools, but preparing everything essentially to go, right? I mean, kids are picking them up and taking them.
Yeah, they come in and they'll either ride in the car with their parents or their parents will come. I even have kids who walk from the apartment complex to the bus that I'm on, and they walk over and they come get food. It's been a little bit of an adjustment. Instead of cooking and being on the go that way, now we're assembly lining everything and just going down the line and packing bags and just teamwork.
Yeah.
Like normal, but yeah, teamwork. It's a lot, but it's different. And at first it was a lot, but once we got into a routine of everything, it's smooth sailing now.
And what's it like when you are out and you see the kids? What are the kids' response? How are the kids doing when you see them?
They actually, when they come, it is amazing. Their faces light up. I have one little boy, well, he's not little, he's in middle school. He was so shy. He'd come with this hood on and like hide his face, and he was with his grandma, and I'd say hello to him and he wouldn't say anything. And now he's like no hood on, just, hey, how are you? Just open and talking now. So it's actually really great to see the kids open up.
Oh, that's wonderful.
It's fantastic.
They've really been outside the box when you think about, we have buses that are delivering to apartment complexes. We're setting up in apartment complexes, in parks, in parking lots. You name a place, church parking lots. If you've asked for help for people, they've been there, and they've been fantastic. We're actually this summer going to, in middle of June, near the end of June, also have books for kids when they come to, and they get to select the book that they want to take as they come for food throughout the summer.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
just
the
gonna
maps,
keep adding more people coming to see Pearl.
the map, I mean, across Chesterfield, where all the pickup locations are just tremendous. I mean, they're everywhere. That's amazing.
We have about like 33 school sites and 29 off sites in addition to that. So
now, and were those locations that were already identified as potential drop sites or pickup sites, or how did you decide on where those locations would be?
We just took a map and sat down and picked out locations so that we would spread. We have the regulations that we have to live with, so we spread as much as we could in those areas to cover as much as possible. I think we're like 1.5 miles is the farthest anybody has to go to get to a food site. So
wow. Okay, so anybody who has any restrictions on, I mean,
the goal was to get our food to them, because we know that they can't get to us sometimes, or you know, that we need to be available to them. That's what we do, feed kids.
That's amazing.
And they're doing breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and dinner is all but 3 sites, right? Pearl, still.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, Heather, the time frame that you all, or Pearl, whoever wants to answer this, has it changed? I mean, what does it look like time frame that you're cooking, you know, versus under normal circumstances to now? What's the shift been like in terms of schedule and time?
It just depends. I serve about 200. I have 3 bus sites that I ship to, or off sites that I ship to. We serve about 200. So I have myself, another manager, and several MITs who come in for between 5 and 7 hours, and then all the other people come in between 2.5 to 4 hours. It just kind of depends.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you for all that you're doing. And yeah, it's well, you know how important it is, but thank you for doing it. And Heather, thank you for being that smiling face for the children in such a time of upheaval and confusion and crisis. The fact that, you know, one for every little kid who can take their hood off and just be a little bit more present with you. I'm sure the others are having that experience as well, and it's just beautiful. So thank you.
Thank you.
Oh. All right. I would like to talk to Amir and Sanila Saeed. They live in Chesterfield County, and they started an organization or started organizing a food drive for local families once their fellow neighbors and Central Virginians began losing jobs and income. So they began it with their own money and a few donations from friends, and they began delivering dried goods to families in need. Their efforts gone from about 100 beneficiaries each week to more than 350. And the constituent who nominated them wrote, quote, "They are always looking for ways to give back to the community without expecting anything." So how did you start this?
Abigail, thank you for inviting us. So it wasn't just us. Basically, we work with an organization which is called ICNA, which is Islamic Circle in North America. All our centers, I represent Muslim Community Center of Chesterfield, Islamic Center of Virginia, Islamic Center of Richmond. All centers got involved with us once we started this effort. We have actually seven different Muslim organizations working with us to do this. So we started very small. It was initially 10, 15 people reached out, and then it went to 100 within the first week.
Wow.
And from there, the second week we went to 250, and then it's been consistently 350 after that. And we get new requests coming in. Like our last distribution was on the 19th, May 10th.
Wow.
We've been getting constantly about 10 to 15 new requests coming in every day.
Wow. And those representing new families who need support?
New families that need food. And we have food available to us that we're getting. Feedmore actually started helping us. We're getting food from Feedmore as well. People donated anywhere from starting with the smallest until, I would say, last week, we had $40,000 donated towards purchasing food.
Wow.
So we've been buying supplies. We've been getting stuff from Feedmore and making sure. Initially, we were giving a week's worth of supply, and then we went to a full month's worth of supply to each family. Average family size would be 4. We have family sizes that range between 8 to 12. And that's why a lot of those families keep coming back to us weekly. Can we get more food?
Yeah. Wow. And what's been the response on two sides of the families who are receiving help? And from those, like when Helena was talking about the ability to get involved, for the families who have joined you as volunteers, what have been their responses? They're
overwhelmed. We initially started with the first week, we had maybe total 10 volunteers locally. It's gone up to about 30, 40 volunteers, and we stagger the shifts, people coming in. We have shifts to prepare food, get food ready, packaged, and we have, we're doing more deliveries than pickup, because a lot of people that have been impacted can't drive, can't get out of their houses. So we've been actually taking food to their houses and delivering it. So we started with just, the local area. Now we have in the local area, just in the Richmond area, we have Chesterfield, Henrico, Hanover, Petersburg, Amelia, all the way up to Charlottesville. We're delivering food.
Wow. And how are people, families who have a need, how are they finding out about your work, or how are they getting connected?
So we're like everybody else. We're posting through Facebook. We have newsletters that each center has, sending them out to communities. A lot of it's now word of mouth.
Okay.
People are telling other people that are not on Facebook, not on Instagram, or not on Twitter, saying, "Here's a group that can help us." I get calls. There are other people that get calls saying we need food, and we put them on the list. We have a Google form. Everybody signs up. We ask different questions. We want to make sure we're actually giving the food to people who are in need, not anybody who just give me food, and they get it.
Wow. Oh, that's wonderful.
And I don't know if you know, I know Senator Ghazala Hashmi's been almost at every single one of our events.
Wow. Now, and so the events that you're having, are they like events to box and bag things before they go out?
Yeah, box and deliver.
Okay. Oh, wow. Oh, that's wonderful.
There are basically two of us, myself and one other gentleman. on a weekly basis, we go food shopping throughout, Richmond, different places where we're eating food, and we get all the food together and bring it in. It's normally Thursday, so before this event, I was actually getting all the, the products today.
And are you buying in bulk, or what sort of?
We're buying in bulk, yeah.
I wouldn't want to be behind you in line. Wow. And have you found, are there particular dietary needs or focuses or?
Yeah. One thing that we have is, because we're a Muslim organization, a lot of stuff we keep as halal, like kosher. Any meat or meat products, we make sure all the products that can be eaten by everybody. There's no problem there, but we just make sure that's there. But we're serving Muslims, non-Muslims. There's no nothing in between. So we have anybody and everybody coming to us asking.
Wow, that's tremendous. That's tremendous. And this all started how long ago?
We went to week 12 now.
Wow, that's amazing.
And we're doing this across the board in Virginia itself, not just locally. Islamic Circle in North America is doing it throughout Virginia and Maryland. And I can give you some of the stats.
I would love to hear that.
This is as of May 10th. We basically provided 144,000 pounds of food to families. 5,100 families throughout Virginia were delivered to. We also do hot meals, so 8,300 hot meals were served throughout Virginia. 3,400 houses were delivered to, and 450 plus volunteers across Virginia are working on this.
That's beautiful. Oh, that's amazing. Well, thank you for your work in doing that. And we are certainly Chesterfield heavy with some of our representation today. So I wouldn't want to leave Powhatan out. We have Jayne Lloyd, who's a resident of Powhatan County, and she works for the Powhatan County Department of Social Services. And prior to the pandemic, she had just begun serving as the coordinator for their Ride Assist service program. This initiative provides transportation for seniors who need help getting to appointments. And when COVID-19 broke out in Powhatan, Jayne quickly and efficiently adapted the program to use its resources to deliver food to seniors. And alongside volunteers, she has created a program called Gran Pals. And I'm going to let her tell us what that is. But a constituent who nominated her said, quote, "I encourage you to take a look at the Powhatan County Ride Assist Services page on Facebook, which clearly details the creativity, commitment, and resourcefulness of this most extraordinary citizen. We're so proud to call her ours." And she recently became a grandmother for the first time earlier this month. So congratulations on the grandchild, Jayne.
Yeah, pandemic baby. Yeah.
Have you gotten to see the baby?
A couple of times, yes.
Oh, good. What's the baby's name?
Yes. Harry. Yeah. Thank you.
So tell us about the Gran Pals program.
Gran Pals, well, actually, after kind of revamping how we connect with our seniors, because so many of them, we're rural, and I'm overwhelmed hearing all of your numbers. We're so much smaller and we're so much more spread out. I would connect with them and hear that they were hearing from the media to stay in. So a lot of them were showing, signs of worry. And so I took the team that was growing and I split them up and I have all the seniors covered, being called weekly, at least weekly. And I started getting a lot of really tremendous feedback from that, the connections that were being made. And so I decided to just incorporate children and give information of a senior to a specific senior to a child, so that they could write a letter or draw a picture, write a story, anything really, because a lot of them don't get any mail. So that's really been wonderful to see the feedback from that.
Wow. And so these are seniors who typically would have been using the Ride Assist program that you run to go out under normal circumstances, but with stay-at-home recommendations, the isolation and changes and appointments and whatnot, that's how you pivoted.
Yeah, they, a lot of them were not my riders. I had we had a ridership.
Okay.
A lot of these seniors didn't even know about ride assist services yet. So when COVID-19 is all over, I have a feeling we're going to have a lot more riders because the interaction is there and now they're familiar, you know, with what our goal and our intent was. So yes, the only requirement really at this point for our ride assist services is that they be ambulatory and senior. So.
And most of your drivers, are they mostly volunteers?
Yes, all are volunteers. Wow. And that number has grown significantly. It's been amazing to see all the people that have just come out of the woodwork and jumped in to help.
And with the children who've been writing letters, have they found out about it? I mean, their parents through social media, or how have you done the?
Some social media, some people are, you know, kind of telling the information to their churches, maybe their kids ministry. So they might take it to their kids ministry. I just had a church take 6 seniors, additional seniors, to connect them with children. So it's really wonderful. I get to see some of the pictures parents will send me of the mail that's getting sent out. So it's really fun because kids just put it all out there, you know. I hope you like butterflies.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really sweet. Well, that is tremendous. Well, I'm so grateful for you all taking the time to join together today. I'm impressed by all of your stories, and I'm really grateful for all of the work that you have done, keeping people connected, fed, and safe with masks. Thank you for the work that you're doing. It is, you know, as I said at the very beginning, during this really horrible time, it's the stories of the work that volunteers across our community, volunteers, people like you, or, you know, people whose day-to-day work lives have changed so substantially that, you know, it's a whole different thing that you're committed to doing every day. I'm really, really grateful for how everybody's adapted. We're all adapting, but it's, oh, hi, Helena, how are you? Oh, who's your daughter? Is that your daughter?
Yeah, she heard I was talking to you and she really wanted to come.
What's your name?
Hello.
Lucia.
Hi, Lucia. It's so nice to meet you. I'm Abigail. I was just talking with your mom and some of the other folks on the screen about all the great work they've been doing for the community. Did you know your mom's been working on a big project to help the community?
Mm-hmm.
It's super important. Did you know that? Well, I'm sure you probably have to give her up sometimes because when she's working on it. So thank you for that. I know it's a little bit of sacrifice on your side too. It's nice to meet you, Lucia.
You too.
But I'm so grateful, and I'm really appreciative that you took the time and that you're willing to let us tell your stories, because I know there's a lot of people in the community that, you know, will be heartened to know, you know, what's happening at Chesterfield County Schools and what's happening across multiple counties, and, you know, how seniors are keeping connected and how a lovely hobby can actually be like a way to stay safe and keep others safe. So I'm grateful for all that you all are doing, and I'm really appreciative of you taking the time. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Yes, thank you very
So
much.
nice to meet you. I look forward to seeing you in person at some point in the future.
Thank you.